What's going on, everyone? So Aaron Rodgers' time with the Green Bay Packers is finally coming to an end. Aaron Rodgers yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show relayed that he plans to play for the New York Jets, that they're kind of working out their ends. And I mean, this comes to no surprise, maybe to some people that it's the Jets of all teams, especially with his history with the media and how he kind of just likes to be isolated at times. You're not really going to get that in the New York media. But in general, I mean, makes sense. New York, top defense, although especially in the NFL, defenses range year in and year out based on teams and matchups and stuff like that. But you've seen the Jets go and get pieces and really kind of trying to shape this team. And a lot of them, like Lazar, was like, okay, well, clearly they're ramping up and preparing for Aaron Rodgers. And then we got the confirmation. And what Aaron Rodgers said was, since Friday, I have made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets. He also added, I haven't been holding anything up. At this point, it's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me, kind of digging their heels in. It is interesting at this point to step back and take a look at the whole picture. So Rodgers relays, hey, I'm just chilling, waiting for it to get done. It should get done sooner rather than later. Both sides seem to want to get it done. Makes sense for the Packers. The Packers are ready to move on. And the Jets, I mean, they would love to take Aaron Rodgers and maybe compete and contend for a Super Bowl this upcoming season. I think that team, Aaron Rodgers, he had a rough season last season, but was that just kind of like an outlier of like, hey, like I don't really want to be here. They don't really want me here. I don't really have a team that is capable of winning me games. I have to be Superman in order for us to win, and I don't really feel like being like that with this team. Or is he just really declining that rapidly? I mean, look at like Russell Wilson, right? He goes to the Broncos, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League, which is crazy. So you never really know. But I do think Aaron Rodgers will be kind of back to the Aaron Rodgers. Maybe not full-fledged, like Super Bowl winning Aaron Rodgers, but I do think he's going to be better than anything that the Jets could get otherwise. So I think that's really huge. But so far, both sides haven't been able to come to an agreement. So per Adam Schefter, he says, all I can tell you is the Green Bay believes it's right. The Jets believe they're right. And now we wait to see how the two sides can find a way to somehow meet in the middle and come up with a simple solution. That's where the two sides are right now, far apart. So Green Bay, based on all reports, they want a return for like a Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson type thing. They want 2 first-round picks, other compensation. And, the Jets, they're kind of like, hey, we want to give you X, right? Here's my problem is that Aaron Rodgers shouldn't have said anything publicly, in my opinion. If he wanted, he clearly told Green Bay that that's where he wanted to go. He should have kept that behind closed doors for now, because that just puts more pressure on the Jets. Because now the fan base believes he's coming. They've made moves as if he's coming. And if for whatever reason it doesn't come, then that's it, right? And yes, the Jets are at a position of leverage, right? Hey, Aaron Rodgers, he was contemplating retirement. I mean, Aaron said that. He was contemplating retirement before he decided to come here to the Jets, right? We want him. You want to unload him. He only wants to play for us. So they have a point of leverage. But here's the problem with Aaron Rodgers going public with this information, which I understand he has all kinds of rumors going around behind the scenes. He probably just wanted to get this out so that way people hear it from him. But it's about being patient, because now the problem is that just gave ammunition to the Packers. Hey, we still have him under contract. If he wants to retire, fine. Let him retire. But we still have him under contract. Your fan base, your organization, everybody believes that you're going to get Aaron Rodgers. And if you don't, how is that going to look? What is going to be the backlash? What is going to be the outrage? What is your team makeup going to look like? How is your current quarterback going to feel about it? You went and made all these changes and cleared all this cap and, signed guys and are doing things to prepare for Aaron Rodgers. And guess who has him? We have him. So that being public just gave the Packers some more leverage, or at least more ability to hold on and be, stern. Where, yes, the Jets, they still could look at it and go, well, if you really want him to retire and then lose him for nothing in a couple years. But we've seen organizations, we've seen teams be stubborn like that. Like I could see the Packers calling his bluff. Like, you really want to retire? Go ahead, retire. Like, go ahead, sit at home. And maybe Aaron Rodgers would. He does seem like the kind of guy that would. But it's just, you just added an unnecessary mix to a pot that you needed them to just let it work out, right? Because Aaron Rodgers, I do believe he will elevate that Jets team. Even if they're just a formidable defense, not even like an elite defense, even if they're just a really good, solid defense, then Aaron Rodgers on the offensive end with the weapons that they have, he'll be enough. I mean, the last time Aaron Rodgers had a top defense, they won a Super Bowl, or he won a Super Bowl, right? So he's shown, like, you get me a defense, you get me protection, you get me some receivers, I can make this work. So I do think that he's going to be able to do that. He'd have some guys on the Jets that he's familiar with, just some built-in chemistry guys that he could go to. He's got the long ball threat in Lazar. You got options and you got weapons, and I do think Aaron Rodgers would be a huge impact to that Jets team. It's just working out, what do you do? And again, I think that Aaron Rodgers just put a ton of pressure on the Jets to where they end up having to fold. Right? I mean, if anything, you just probably gave the Packers a better deal, which, maybe that was Rodgers' intention. Like, hey, let me, for just, being a guy that's part of this organization, let me throw this out there so that way you can get a little more type thing. Maybe it'll put some pressure on the Jets to get me type thing. Also, you run the risk of losing Aaron, right? So let's say Aaron Rodgers does retire, right? Well, does he just stay in retirement when his contract's up because he's like, hey, I'm loving retirement? Or does he look at it like, let's say he does want to come back. Does he look at it as like, no, I gave you the chance to get me and you didn't. I even publicly went out and said, I only want to play for you. I did everything to come to you and you refused to trade for me. So I'm not going to sign with you. I'm going to go sign over here or over there or wherever. Right? Like, that's another risk that the Jets now have because this was public, right? Because now, again, you have the fan base, you have everybody waiting. We're all sitting here waiting anxiously by our phones or our computers or whatever, waiting for that notification that Aaron Rodgers has just been traded to the Jets. And so now, the Green Bay Packers, yeah, maybe their asking price is insane. Maybe it is ridiculous, right? But what are your other options if you're the Jets? You've already made moves that are clearly for Aaron Rodgers. The fan base is already believing that they are getting Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has just said publicly that he's going to be a New York Jet. It's just a matter of when. And if the Jets don't go through with it, because they say, oh, they wanted too much, it's too much. You think the fan base is going to care? You think the media is going to care? You think Aaron Rodgers is going to care? Like, no. At this point, they have to trade for Aaron Rodgers. They have no choice. Right? So that just puts so much leverage in the favor of the Green Bay Packers. I just think the Packers now, they're probably looking at this as like, thank you, Aaron. Like, or at least that's how I'd be looking at it. Because that would be my first phone call. Hey, guys, did you see the Matt McAfee show? The Matt McAfee show? Pat McAfee show? There you go. Have you guys seen that? You guys saw that? Yeah. Hey, you saw Aaron Rodgers said he wants to go to you? Guess what? The price just went up another pick. Like, now what? What are you going to do? You gotta get him at this point, right? So either cave in or we'll call his bluff and let him retire. If we get nothing for him, we get nothing for him. But whatever. Look, we've seen stranger and worse things happen. I also think a lot of like the Green Bay fans, I think they just want to be done with this. I think they just want to move on. That kind of seems to be the consensus. They're just kind of like, all right, like we're over this. Like let's can we just move along here a little bit? Let's get to our future, kind of start this rebuild. I could definitely see them, even if he does leave, I could see Packer fans, being like, oh, you should have gotten something for him. But I think eventually they'll be like, whatever. At least he's gone. At least it's over. Let's focus on the season, right? Where the Jets, I think they're the ones that would be standing there and just muddy water, for sure. But Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think it happens? Do you think it doesn't? Do you think it falls through? Do you think that Aaron should have just stayed quiet about it and just let the thing unfold? Because also that it kind of makes him look bad if it does fall through. But do you think that however you feel, like whatever your thoughts are, I do think it does happen. I think it's just, I think it is a matter of when, not if. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it unfolds. But I think it's interesting nonetheless. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below.